Hey wrestling fans, this is Rick from rickswrestlingblog.com. Hey, I know that Elimination Chamber is right around the corner, but I needed to talk about TNA for a little bit. TNA, they've got a lot of things going on, and I don't want to lose track of them. And the real reason is because in March, on March 9th, they have a pay-per-view coming up. They haven't had a pay-per-view for a few months, actually, so they've been doing a lot of these Spike TV, free on TV, pay-per-view type of events. But I'll tell you what, that's not the same as a real pay-per-view. So they have this pay-per-view coming up, and I want to talk about what's going on in TNA, because some of the stuff that they have going on is a little bit, they got some good stuff, but at the same time, there's some, I don't understand the direction. So hey, listen, I put this blog up on my website. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of click here so we can go ahead and I want to make sure I hit certain points that I don't miss here. And let's see, I'm going to go to my what's going on. I'm going to go to the latest TNA. And I've got one up here that I just put up. It's MVP, the Wolves, and a reduced roster. Is Dixie Carter taking TNA in the right direction? Well, hey, that's what we need to talk about. So, you know, there have been so many things happening with TNA lately, and the roster has just been reduced to, you know, last time, just a week ago, I tried to count as many as I could, and I know I hit at least 30. So there may be a few more that I missed, but I'm thinking, do they have a roster of about 35 people? And then when I looked at that, well, what can you really do with 35? I mean, you can use them, but you know what? Let's talk about this a little bit, because as I go through these titles, these championships, and all these things going on, it kind of makes you wonder. You know, it's almost like you're recycling people. That's kind of what it kind of seems like to me. So anyway, let's talk about some of the people that have been missing, actually, that are gone. You know, we know the Hulk Hogan's. Brooke Hogan is gone. But then there's other ones like, so for example, AJ Styles. Really disappointed to see that he's gone. Sting, Chavo Guerrero, haven't seen Hernandez in a while. Devon Dudley, the whole Aces and Eights, in fact, Garrett, Knox, Briscoe, D'Lo Brown. I mean, there's so many people that are just gone, no longer with TNA. So then it makes you think, well, what's Dixie Carter gonna do now? So, you know, she's done other things. So she's brought up EC3, her nephew, okay? And then she's taken Magnus and made him the world champion, you know? And she's got Star Spud. You know, these three, you know, they're somewhat interesting. Yeah, they're somewhat, you know, it's about time that Magnus actually had a little title run. And the best thing for him was to turn heel. Because I got to tell you, I don't find him very exciting as a performer. So for him to be a heel, he's actually doing pretty well on the mic. I've actually been pretty impressed with how well he's doing on the mic. So, but the problem is that when AJ Styles came in, you know, he had the belt. He came in. This was great. He's going to battle against Magnus. They're going to have an epic match. But then they scheduled it for the next week on Spike TV. And a bunch of people from this new reduced roster come out and interfere and beat down AJ, and eventually Magnus wins and he's the one champion. I was disappointed with that, but at the same time I'm thinking, well, okay, but he'll be right back to challenge him again. It's just gonna push this a little bit more, and I mean, this is what I was thinking, but AJ never came back, which, you know, so then it's got to be true that he really didn't have a contract, or that was it. It was over with him in TNA. I would hope not, because I think he's one of those that is like the lifeblood of TNA. So we'll see what happens there. But without having AJ, I'm a little shell shocked in a way. I'm kind of disappointed. So anyway, let's look at the world title. Okay, you've got Magnus, who's your world champion, but who's he gonna defend against? Okay, he defended against AJ Styles. Okay, that's over with. So now they're doing something with Samoa Joe. All right, so they're prolonging it a little bit, and they're gonna battle him and Samoa Joe. Okay, decent, but then it looks like they're stirring the pot with Bobby Roode. By the way, Bobby Roode's a heel, so are you gonna turn him face, or because I can't see Magnus turning face. I honestly can't see Bobby Roode turning face. But hey, they also put together James Storm and Gunner right back again after they were battling each other. But we'll get into that in a minute. So hey, who does he got to fight? I mean, it looks like he's gonna go with Samoa Joe. He's also got to fight Gunner because Gunner has the briefcase. Looks like it's gonna be Bobby Roode eventually. I'm guessing they're gonna probably throw Kurt Angle in there. Because who else do you have? Everybody else is gone. There's no one else really competing for that title. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here with that. But I'm really hoping that Dixie decides to maybe even bring in some part-timers to come in and do what the WWE's been doing. Well, they bring in some people. They kind of stir the pot, get them in there, and get some pretty good matches going. Hey, that's a great recipe, I think. So I think if TNA just takes that page out of the WWE and starts applying some of those things, they may have something there. We call them part-timers. All right, the tag team division. Who's in the tag team division? You've got the Bromans. They're your tag team champions. Guess who else? Bad Influence. But they're a heel. They're a heel team. Who else? Well, it's not going to be Abyss and EY anymore because they've got their own little battle going against each other. So, you know what? Now you have the new Wolves. Oh, and by the way, Gunner and Storm are back together again. You know, hey, we made up. We're back together, and we're a tag team again. Okay, and then now you throw in the Wolves, who obviously they're from Ring of Honor. And now you've got yourself 4 teams in the tag team division. Pretty decimated, huh? So we'll see what happens there, but not looking too good there either. X Division, this one's looking pretty bad. Austin Aries was your champion. He is your champion. He actually just won it again from Sabin. And I tell you what, who's he fighting against though? It was him and Sabin, but now Sabin's got some battle going on with his ex-girlfriend, Velvet Sky, and now there's some huge Amazon type lady that comes in and they didn't even know her name, so I don't even know who she is. So she comes in and attacks Velvet Sky with Chris Sabin, and him and Chris and her are, I guess, together. And so I'm thinking that Velvet and maybe Austin Aries are going to team up together, which is not a bad deal. You've got yourself a nice mixed tag team. But what's going to happen with the X Division? Because I mean, whatever happened to Kenny King? Whatever happened to Manic? I mean, these people that battled for the X Division title, where are they? They're not around anymore. So is it only Chris Sabin and Austin Aries holding that division together? That's kind of sad, kind of pitiful. We're going to see what happens there. How about the Knockouts division? Okay. Take Velvet Sky out of it because she's going to be going against the Amazon and Chris Sabin. And obviously, because they don't have enough wrestlers, it's going to be guys and girls battling each other, which is a little bit sad. So, if you look at Knockouts, you've got Gail Kim, you've got ODB, you've got Lady Tapa, and you've got Gail Kim. Oh, Madison Rayne, who's your champion. Well, okay, so then there's 4. Where's Brooke Tessmacher? I haven't seen her for a little while. Tyra Terrell has been missing for a while. I heard she was hurt, but she's been out for a while. And, you know, of course, Mickie James been gone for a while. So it sounds like they really have 4. Because I don't want to count Velvet with the Amazon, because right now they're going to battle with guys. So 4, 6 max. Okay, so but what are you going to do with 4? I don't see much happening there. Well, listen, with these divisions, these titles looking a little bit weak with the players, right now TNA really has a really good opportunity though. If TNA can take advantage of the WWE network starting in February, well, that leaves us fans open to actually spend the money for the payper-view, because TNA doesn't have a pay-per-view every month. They have it about every quarter or so. So if we're used to paying for a pay-per-view on a monthly basis with the WWE and spending $50 to $60 or WrestleMania $70 a month, well, I'll tell you what, now we're going to be spending $10 a month. And TNA, the last pay-per-view was $50, which I was actually pretty surprised that it was that high, but cost me $50 for that last one, but then that was almost 3 months ago. But this leaves a really good opportunity for TNA to actually get some fans and actually grow their company and actually get some pay-per-view buys. This could be really good for them. But if they play it right, the problem is that their roster is so decimated. There's just not too many people there. I mean, I don't have anything, honestly. I'm not interested in the pay-per-view anymore. Now, that being said, I want to look at a few things here for the pay-per-view. Now, these are some matches that I kind of came up with that I would be interested to watch, that if they came up with these matches, I would say I'd be buying this pay-per-view. So the first one is the world title. Okay, TNA champion Magnus to defend against MVP. MVP, he came in as the investor. But I tell you what, I don't know, he's good on the mic. But I don't know how well he's going to fit in as the investor. Honestly, I like this guy in the ring. So he just recently wrestled. And, hey, he looked like he didn't lose a step. Then again, he just beat the tar out of Star Spud, which is nothing. So I want to see MVP go for the title and actually beat Magnus for that title. Okay? Especially if you're not going to bring back someone like an AJ Styles. So that's the only match I can see happening for a main event pay-per-view. So Magnus versus MVP for the title. Tag team championship match. The bromance. Let's get the title away from them already. I want to see the Wolves. I want to see what they can really do. I saw them already wrestle once, but I have not seen them in Ring of Honor. I don't know how good they are because I saw one match. I saw this match and I wasn't impressed. So I didn't see anything special with them whatsoever. But we'll see what happens if they take on the bromance for the titles. And I would hope that they would win the titles. Another match. TNA's X Division match. This one, I put Austin Aries against Kurt Angle. And the reason I put both of these two together is because these two guys are just technical machines. These guys are great. And I would really think that Kurt Angle would do more of a passing of the torch type of thing to Austin Aries by losing to Austin Aries. He's done it for Bobby Roode already. But I tell you what, Austin Aries is just a phenomenal wrestler. So I would like to see Kurt Angle, Austin Aries for the X Division Championship. For the knockouts, well, the champion, Madison Rayne, got to defend the title. I believe every title needs to be defended at every pay-per-view. That's how I feel. To take on Velvet Sky. Would that really happen? Nah. They'd probably do something like a mixed tag team match that would be part of the pay-per-view, which would not be bad either. But we'll see. Right now, the only one I can see going against Madison is really Velvet. To me, that is worth winning that title. Or Gail Kim, but I don't want to see Madison Rayne and Gail Kim again. So I put those two, and my substitute for that would be that Velvet would team up with probably Austin Aries to take on Sabin and this Amazon woman who just recently showed up. Alright, and another match, Bobby Roode versus EC3. Two heels going face to face, and I would like that because Bobby Roode really is the main heel outside of Magnus right now because Magnus is the world champion, but Bobby Roode's been the main heel in TNA for a long time. And now to bring on EC3, who is still undefeated right here, it'd be interesting to see which way they go. Would they give EC3 the win, or would they give it to their number one heel in Bobby Roode? So that'd be a pretty interesting match to watch. The storylines have been good, but they're starting to get a little weaker and redundant. And so we're getting a little tired of them. And so that's one of the things that I'm against and wondering if they don't go a different direction here, if they don't bring in some other stars just to, a spot here, a spot there. Now, even though I just said that, I know that Willow is coming. Willow, Jeff Hardy. And he's talking like a freak. So, I don't know, he was already a weirdo to me. But, I mean, now he's coming in as Willow. So, we'll see what they do with him, with this character. It'll be kind of interesting. Seems pretty creepy in a way. So, if they're going to be doing things like that, though, bringing in these part-timers, this is the time. Do it now. Bring in those part-timers. Now, like I said, take advantage of this WWE network. If we're paying $10 a month, we're freeing up some money. I mean, with me and my brothers that would watch the pay-per-view, each one of us would take a month. So we were paying at least $200 each of us a year. And now we'll be down to $120 for all 12 each of us. So that saves me some money. So I'm going that route. Which then leaves me a little open that if TNA has a good pay-per-view, I would consider purchasing that pay-per-view. But we'll have to see. So March 9th, and I'm trying to remember what is that name of that pay-per-view, because I actually do have that in my website here, but I'm not seeing it. But anyway, so whatever it is it Lockdown? Anyway, whatever it is, listen, it's posted on the website if you guys want to read it. So anyway, that's what the blog is about today. Okay, we'll talk about TNA and see what their future is, where they're gonna go, and hopefully they're gonna do something good. But right now, I'm kind of at a standstill because right now it doesn't look like they're doing much of anything really. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they get better, and hopefully they're gonna have a great pay-per-view that we'll be excited to buy. All right, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye now.